Thank you, Councillor Dowsing. Oh my goodness, people are just on fire today. There's a lot of work in there, and thank you for that paper. Any discussion or questions? Councillor Dunn.
This is a Dunn question.
Yes, Councillor Dunn.
Page 96. In the Regional Transport Committee, the 4th of June, it says the fare box recover policy.
Yep. Buses.
Fare box. Oh, how much you pay?
Yep. That was a dumb question. No, I'm just kidding.
Surely fare box must be 2 words. Then it would have made sense.
Anyway, any other high-level questions? Councillor Worsnop.
My question is just, given that we have so many demands on our staff time, do we really not have any more urgent priorities than once again reviewing the freedom camping bylaw?
Oh, is that a question?
It's time for it.
Through your worship, we put that one on there because we kept on it. We continually have issues with the bylaw. A bit of work has already been commenced in that, so it has been a bit of work has already been. Well, I don't need to move forward. I just need some time. A bit of work has already been commenced in that area by staff. So while it's on there, I think because we have challenges every year with it, we want to get it right, and yeah, so we've included it and have taken lead from council in terms of those challenges and issues, which is why it's on the work program.
Any other questions around the work program? Councillor Foster, Councillor Dunn, your microphone.
Yeah, thank you for that. I'm just a query, because there's quite a few hearings that are coming up with bylaws, freedom camping bylaw, trade waste bylaw. Now, I'm just wondering, and I'm a hearings commissioner for council, so are we conflicted when we do hearings for ourselves, as you know, if we're going to do it for our own panel, or do we have to get independents in to do these?
Bylaws are okay. So usually we do sit on bylaws, but
Through your worship, bylaws are under the LGA, not the RMA, so RMA will have some parameters around whether you're conflicted or not as a hearings commissioner, but the bylaws don't apply.
thank you. Any other questions? If not, I'll put it to the floor. All in favour? Contrary, carried. Thank you.
Can I just
Ms. Koheri, I do apologise. You have put your hand up quite some time ago. Ms. Koheri, it is your paper.
I just wanted to, I guess, advise councillors that we, and obviously in light of recent developments, we're not sure where the government may land, but they have signalled some significant work required by our team in terms of water planning. So that's not indicated here. So if things do go through as intended by central government, then that would impact our team's work program quite significantly. And we're thinking at that point, what is statutory and what isn't, and obviously would come back to council at that point. But in terms of just signalling that that's on the horizon, and obviously in terms of recent events, don't know that it will stay on the horizon, but just flagging it as an issue for councillors.
Mrs. Thatcher Swan.
So the other thing that I was going to add to the governance work program is what it currently hasn't got are all the is the overview around the long-term plan. So the decisions that are required and what you'll be expecting by way of workshops, that will come as a separate paper. Also to add to the work program for sustainable Tairawhiti will be the science work that's currently underway. So at the next committee meeting, you will receive an overview of the science priorities and the science plan that will then feed into this as well.
Thank you. I declare our Sustainable Tairawhiti meeting closed, and I welcome everyone to our extraordinary council meeting. I have apologies from Councillor Bedette, moved by Councillor Seymour, seconded by myself. All in favour? Contrary, carried. There's no declaration of interest, no leave of absence. no acknowledgement or tributes, no public input or petitions. So I ask you to move to our consultation document that staff prepared for us. And as you can see, I've changed some of the wording of my foreword just to include mention of the COVID as well. You can see that the bold ones is what I changed. So this is the new document. So the old document is gone and this is a replacement for it. Thank you. So the paper is on the floor. Mrs. Thatcher-Swan, do you just want to give us some background and also just tell us, in this time of COVID and uncertainty and not organising any community hui, what is your plan, what's council's plan to reach out to our community to still make sure we get the consultation that our community deserve?
Thank you, Your Worship. I think it's important in this that you're aware that chief executives from local government across New Zealand have been working and inputting into a national coordinated approach to some of the issues and challenges that we're facing as local authorities. SOLGM, which is the Society of Local Government Managers, along with Local Government New Zealand and Department of Internal Affairs, have been co-invested in a coordination point which will provide further guidelines to councils to address things from what we do in community facilities right through to our democratic decision-making processes. One of the things that's coming up is all councils are proposing rates increases, or the majority of them are proposing rates increases from what I've seen on the feed, and how that is going to be managed in this time, given we're in an economic crisis as well. I think there is work being done around whether there's going to be some kind of legislative change around delaying rate strike or looking at other grants or remissions that could be put in place for guidance for the sector. I think in this time, what we need to do is put the document out, because things are changing daily. We will get a better sense within the month as to where we are sitting with this. So I think I wanted to mention that. The other thing I want to mention is that we're taking, in terms of consultation approach, a cautionary approach to that. So thinking about how we can really leverage our social media to get people aware of what we're proposing here, but also being mindful that this is the first step and that the final decision's yet to be made in June.
Thank you. And that's a good reminder. We are just putting this document out for consultation. We will receive feedback, and hopefully by that time, if there are any avenue for relief or any assistance, that will then be clear, and we'll only make those decisions end of June. Councillor Seymour.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I don't think social media is the only way that this should be made available. And if you think back, it's not a million years ago that we did actually make the consultation document available to every household. It was, and certainly across the rural area, it would go in RDs and be hand delivered, because this is a year when there are rates increases. And I hear that's interesting that rates increases may be delayed, but how does that?
Rate strike might be delayed.
Right, strike might be delayed, but I mean, organisations and local government has to continue to function, so we do have to have income. But I would like to think that we went back to putting this in everybody's letterbox. I mean, it can be hand delivered along with the other paperwork that is delivered to letterboxes, and yes, some of it will end up in the rubbish bin. But I do think it is really, really important that we do our bit to make sure that our public get it if we're not going to have community meetings. And I mean, if more of the public would get this, then come to community meetings anyway. So I would really urge us to think about what that means. And we used to, it could be put to, one folded A3, and it ends up going out as a document distributed. It has a small cost, but I think it's really important that we give our public the opportunity to understand what we're planning to do. And it's extenuating time, so we might have to take that extenuating piece of action.
So who's going to respond to that? Yep.
Through your worship, so from our previous experience in doing the mail drops, they have not been as successful in terms of, and relative to the reach that we've managed through social media, and it costs more, more to do so. At the end of the day, if that is what the council desires and thinks that's the best thing to do, then we will go away and price that up. That will add additional time in terms of our ability to get the consultation document out. So we'll have to add some time into the process to make it fit for hard copy dissemination, but it's not something I would recommend.
But the document is prepared pretty much. We're going to go out on social media with something. So why can't that be put together, something that's made available? We either want to serve our community or we don't.
Through your worship, I'm not saying that it can't be done. I'm just saying that it will take some time to do that. And I'm also reflecting on our previous engagement processes where we've identified that social media has more reach than mailbox delivery drops. The alternative to, there is another, rather than going to all households, we had previously put a pull out in the Herald as well.
Councillor Akuhata Brown and then Councillor Dowsing.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Madam CEO, as well, in respect to this kōrero. I was wanting to ask, some of us obviously use social media a lot more than others, and often I've found in recent months fronting a live video to these types of things as another mechanism to highlight council currently what we're up to. I've done those in the past. Is that something that you would condone or like us to do as an added kind of benefit to, you know, educating, sharing, consulting with? But I've just found I get positive feedback through the community network when we do share as be it individual councillors to say something like this, but of issues confronting us that people often, you know, want to have some say in, etc. I know there's sometimes good and sometimes bad in the space of social media, but I just wondered, is that something that we could, for those of us that enjoy the live feed space, is that something that you would see as a positive adage to highlighting this, or is it preferred that it go through the comms team as, you know, council has? Because we obviously want to ensure there's wide, far reach, that everybody can see that we are trying to ensure everyone has this knowledge in front of them, etc. We know that there are parts of our public that don't see council business so much as being that interesting. If not, they just, you know, not invested as such. But is that something that we could consider you'd happy with, or is there a preferred process in that space?
Through your worship, if you were asking whether elected members could use their social media platform to live stream themselves talking about the what's in our annual plan, I don't have an issue with that. That's getting the message out there. If you were on there like bagging the annual plan, there might be something different.
Thank you. Councillor Dowsing and then Councillor Faulkner.
Thank you. You've mentioned social media and the reach we achieve there. Have you looked into the other popular platforms that we're not really present on? For example, geotagged advertising on YouTube or through Twitch or TikTok. I may hear heaps of groans here, but that's because these people may not be on those platforms. But the majority of youth are. TikTok particularly is certainly the largest and most picked up, and highly underused for location-based advertising. So all of those platforms have a wide open market for you to get far more reach than Facebook, because Facebook people are consistently geolocating their targeted marketing, but no one is going across those other platforms.
Thank you for that.
Through your worship, I can't comment on the extent that the comms team have been looking into those tools. Well, I know that they have looked at others, but whether or not we're actually going to plan to use it, I can't comment on that because Anita's not here. But we will certainly be looking at that. if we're still in this situation in another, couple of months, we will need to be looking at alternative tools for our community engagement, given the number of engagements that we've got planned for bylaws. And so we will be looking at the suite and how we can use those to our advantage to get better reach.
Okay, who was after councillor Dowsing? There was someone else after, Faulkner, Robinson, Sheldrake.
So I was just following up on what Councillor Brown raises, and I guess taking it one step further, we've got a fantastic comms team and a videoing capacity therein. Is there any reason why councillors couldn't make a time to catch up with them, in their own patch maybe, for the rural councils who might be out in the middle of the farm or up on a hill or wherever, or, Councillor Foster might be standing out looking over the yacht club. But my point being that we could make this look really professional and really sharp and have the faces that people know doing the base, because all we're asking for is feedback. That's the simple request. Read it and give us feedback. Yeah, I agree, but I think, there's radio, there's newspaper, there's a whole bunch of other options in TikTok, and yes, half of my family are on TikTok, I'm not, but my point being, let's use the faces that people recognise.
Thank you. Robinson, councillor Robinson. Thank you. Go.
Thank you, Stoltz. Yes,
Go.
Stoltz. Can you just clarify, please, is there a statutory obligation on consultation, like face-to-face consultation, which is potentially going to be impacted by COVID? I know that's probably the gist of this paper, but I'm not picking that up. Is there actually statutory obligation that we're going to fail to meet?
No, through your worship, the statutory obligation is a consultation period as defined by council. What we do have to do is make two copies available at, usually leaving it at the public library, so and accessible online, or not accessible online, but copy available that the public can access. But again, that's determined by the council. So there is no statutory obligation to do so.
Councillor Sheldrake.
I think a folded A3 or whatever in the Herald is appropriate, and it'll probably pick up on those that aren't on all the social media.
Anyone else wants to make a comment, feedback? Now's your time. Otherwise, I'm going to put it to the floor. We have a document in front of us. And we will receive feedback on how in this time we are going to reach out to our community appropriately as the situation unfolds and we see what is going on. I'm sure staff will keep us abreast of what is going on and how we will do it. So I have got a recommendation: approves the 2021 annual plan consultation document for distribution. I will move that with the amended forward. I will move that. Seconded by Councillor Seymour. All in favour? Contrary? Carried. I do declare our extraordinary council meeting closed. Let's have a cup of coffee together. Great. Thank you.